overdose on Buckley with nearly 150 pieces of bonus content, Q&As, bug him on Discord, and in December, see the worst songs video before anyone else. Support the habit at patreon.com/doseofbuckley. I don't know why people say, I hate to say I told you so. It's a lie. No one hates to say I told you so. Personally, I love to say I told you so. Like, you know how about 6 months ago I told you that if Elon Musk bought Twitter, he wouldn't fix it? It feels great to tell you that I told you so. So in that video, I suggested that if Elon bought Twitter, he wouldn't fix it the way that people wanted. Because what people wanted was a completely unmoderated utopia, or dystopia, for anyone to say whatever they wanted, and for Elon to bring back all the banned accounts like Trump, Andrew Tate, etc. And since then, he's tried to back out of the deal, got sued by Twitter, and settled the lawsuit by saying, if I buy it, will you stop suing me? Because he was going to lose and be forced to buy it anyway, plus probably pay some extra penalties. And so, October 27th, he officially took over Twitter. It's been about 3 weeks now. And what's happened? Well, not only did he not immediately reinstate all the banned accounts, which is really setting off Laverne Spicer, he said that he was forming a content moderation council with widely diverse viewpoints, and that no major content decisions or account reinstatements will happen before that council convenes. He added that this group would include the civil rights community and groups who face hate-fueled violence. In other words, a council full of libs. Also on day one, he tweeted a post captioned, "Dear Twitter advertisers," which included 2 screenshots of text, trying to reassure them that he's not going to just let it become a free-for-all hellscape where anything can be said with no consequences. This is exactly what I said would happen, because he has to appease the people who pay the bills, at least in the short term, while he figures out another revenue stream, which we'll talk about in a second. But I can tell you what I didn't predict, that his purchase of Twitter would be this massive of a clusterfuck this quickly. First off, a bunch of advertisers did leave, and he had a fit and claimed that they were trying to destroy free speech in America, and that he would name and shame them if they didn't stop. If you don't stop leaving, I'll tell on you. Yeah, that'll get advertisers to spend more money. So, he admits that the site had a massive drop in revenue, which means he needs some other way to make money. The solution? Well, Elon, man of the people, decides that the blue check marks are too elitist, giving them only to celebrities, journalists, and other people of note. Well, that's just not right. Elon, who's just like you, if you were the richest man on the planet, wants everyone to be able to have a blue check mark next to their name. So he tweaks Twitter Blue, a product that already existed. You can't make this shit up. He originally said that it could cost $20 a month. Stephen King, the writer, made a comment about how he'd never pay $20, saying that Twitter should pay him. Elon responds with, "We have to pay the bills somehow. How about $8? I imagine that Elon considers Stephen King a personal hero. After all, the guy wrote a book about a self-driving car that kills people, and Elon's made that a reality. Anyway, that's where it ends up, $8. Now, ready for some real irony? He says that doing this, opening up blue check marks to everyone, is the only way to defeat the bots and the trolls. Yes, trolls could never find a use for being able to have a verified checkmark next to their name, right? Right? First thing that happens is a bunch of people make Elon Musk impersonation accounts. Now, to be fair, many of these people were just people who already had blue check marks. Rich Summer, he was Harry on Mad Men, changed his name and profile picture to Musk's, and then tweeted, "Okay, time to employ Plan B, since they're making me keep Twitter." Eye roll emoji. Does anyone know any advertisers who are, like, kind of into racism? Not actual racists, just ad people who are, curious about what it's all about. Racism. Kathy Griffin got banned for doing the same thing, as did Ethan from H3H3. And then we have the people who did start buying blue check marks just to make posts. Here's some of my favorites. We have Nintendo of Europe saying, "Here at Nintendo, we proudly support the LGBTQ+ community," with some fan art of Luigi and Bowser making out. Nintendo was actually a popular target. Here was a fake Nintendo of America account posting Mario giving the middle finger. That got 17,000 likes. Now you're scrolling your timeline and you see Nintendo of America, a blue check mark, and 17,000 likes. Most people are going to think, at least for a second, wait, is this real? A few more highlights. Here was Lockheed Martin, or Lockheed Martini, saying, "We will begin halting all weapons sales to Saudi Arabia, Israel, and the United States until further investigation into their record of human rights abuses." That was pretty good. This one's for the Canadians, a fake Doug Ford tweet. "Folks, apparently there's a lot of sick kids in Ontario right now. If you've got a sick kid, I want you to know that I do not want them anywhere near my cottage." And then, of course, they had to bring Elon's businesses into it. We have Tesla tweeting, "Breaking. A second Tesla has hit the World Trade Center." And SpaceX saying, "Someone told Elon his dick would be bigger on Mars." And that's honestly what all this has been about. And then, perhaps the most damaging use of $8 ever, someone impersonating pharmaceutical company Eli Lilly and Company tweeted, "We are excited to announce insulin is free now." The real Eli Lilly and Company tweets, "We apologize to those who have been served a misleading message from a fake Lilly account. Our official Twitter account is @LilyPad." And everyone mocks the shit out of them for not apologizing for the cost of insulin. But their stock dropped nearly $20 a share after this. Did it drop because their investors saw a fake tweet and went, "Holy fuck, they're giving it away? Our investments will be worthless," and bailed? Or did they drop after apologizing for the misleading message and people went, "Wow, these guys are assholes"? Or is the stock being manipulated by bots who see negative press and sell? Who knows, but either way, one person spending $8 dropped the value of their stock literally billions of dollars. A few days later, Elon suspended the Twitter Blue program because, oh, it got abused? Of course it did. You know, I wonder if Eli Lilly could sue. After all, do you know why verification exists in the first place? It's a bizarre story, you can read it somewhere else, but basically, it involves baseball manager Tony La Russa, who tried to sue Twitter back in 2009 because someone was impersonating him. He then claimed they settled. Twitter said, "We didn't settle shit, but we are working on this new feature called Verified." And shortly after, it was put in place for famous people, and you had to actually send someone a scan of your ID to get it. Just letting anyone buy a blue checkmark with no real verification was absolutely going to result in this. Any idiot could have seen that. So much for that revenue stream. An email from Elon leaked onto the site where he mentioned that 50% of the revenue still needs to come from advertisers, even if this Twitter Blue shit worked. He also basically tells his staff that, if they don't get this figured out, that Twitter might not survive the upcoming economic downturn. Like he's already teasing the impending bankruptcy. But here's the problem. He doesn't know how to run a business that's funded by advertising and subscriptions. He only knows how to run businesses heavily funded by government subsidies. Allegedly. Maybe if he could get Twitter reclassified as an insane asylum, which I honestly don't think would be that hard to convince someone it is, then maybe he could get some government to give him grants for trying to treat or at least contain people with severe mental health problems. Not the US government, they don't care about that, but some government. I saw several tweets suggesting, well, who cares? People are paying $8 to make a joke and Elon gets that money. But this opens up another potential problem that Elon needs to avoid. Not pissing off Visa, MasterCard, his old friends at PayPal, and other payment processors. Because I guarantee that once these fake accounts get banned, the owners of them will issue chargebacks. And then those companies will go, people keep issuing chargebacks to Twitter. This is a headache for us. Maybe they're too risky to deal with anymore. This shit happens. The payment processors almost stopped dealing with OnlyFans, and one of the reasons was chargebacks. Visa doesn't need Twitter. Twitter needs Visa. And as if he needed another nail in this coffin, mid-November, he sends an email to his remaining staff, the ones that he hadn't already fired, telling them to basically pledge their lives to Twitter or resign. So you know what most of them did? Resigned. And so, on November 17th, the news broke on Twitter that Twitter HQ has shut down because Elon's afraid of the staff sabotaging the service and that the offices would reopen on the 21st. I guess giving Elon the weekend to figure out A, if he even has any staff left, and B, who among that staff he can still trust. This is some deposed dictator, paranoid in a bunker in the last days of the war, wondering who he can still trust type shit going on here. But hey, at least he still has a sense of humor about the billions of dollars he's losing. The night that his staff told him to go fuck himself, he tweeted, "How do you make a small fortune in social media? Start out with a large one." But you know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he did fix Twitter in a way. I mean, when you have a condemned, derelict building with a bunch of homeless squatters in it that literally can't be fixed, you can't just hammer in a few nails and put up some new drywall and make it livable again. What do? You kick out the homeless people and then tear it down, so that you don't end up in the paper as the person who owned a building that a bunch of homeless people were crushed in when it inevitably collapses. So, if Twitter does go bankrupt, and it's so poisonous that no one would even pay him one monkey JPEG for it, and the whole thing shuts down, technically, all of its problems will be solved. Way to not let those hobos die in your collapsing building, Elon. You truly are the humble humanitarian you tell everyone you are.